Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Car Addiction. Today we're going to talk about the Skyline that I bought about a couple of weeks ago, and everybody's been asking what's going on with it, what happened with it. Well, let's talk about that. But by the time this video gets out, it will probably be sometime in February. And today is January 17th, and right now we're in the middle of another lockdown, which is not really doing any good for my mental stability. Hopefully things get better. Hopefully we get out of it swinging. If this is your first time in my channel, I'm a huge Nissan enthusiast. I still have one R32 Skyline. I will explain that in a bit. I have two 300ZX twin turbo and an Xterra right over there. It's possessed. An MR2. Somebody buy it off me. Yeah. So if you are 21 and younger, stop, watch a cat video, talk to a female, do something ridiculous, because being a car enthusiast is really, really, really bad mistake. Over here, we make bad financial decisions one after another. So a month ago, I bought this R32 Skyline. Watch the video over here, and let me show you guys what it is. You may notice it's missing the front bumper. Well, you would be right, because I have sold it. I was never a fan of this front bumper. There was an opportunity came to make some money. I took that opportunity. And I don't feel any bad for that. Da-da-da. First off, let's talk about this car a little bit, because when I bought this car, I made the purchase decision based on me buying an R32 Skyline very cheap. But I actually made a better decision because, first of all, this is a 92. A 92 is a Series II Skyline, which has a lot of little things changed from an 89, which is my Skyline, and for the better. On the other hand, a 92 Series II Skyline, and this paint code over here, it's called TH1. And this vehicle doesn't have a sunroof. So a 92 Skyline with the paint code TH1, there was only 935 ever made. So this car is one of 935. That kind of blew my mind, because when I purchased it, I had no clue. I just went there because price was right. I forked it out. All right, now let's talk about the differences between a Series 1 and a Series 2 car. Now, these series are only matters when it's a GTST. If it's a GTR, GTS, GT4, or all the other variants, it doesn't really matter. Only when it comes to a GTST. And also in the hierarchy of R32, it's usually a GTR, GTST, and everybody else that nobody cares about. Or at least I don't. So, first thing in the variation list is the front cross member is a little different. In this vehicle, somebody cut off the front cross member to make way for a larger intercooler. So you don't really see much. But even in my vehicle, I have a front mount larger intercooler, and also I have the front cross member. So it is possible to fit a larger intercooler without cutting the front cross member. Next one is, if we look at the back, nowhere here it will say GTST. In the Series 1, right here, there was a sticker that says GTST, and there was a emblem over here would say Skyline. And the Series 2, there is no GTST sticker. The third difference is in the front fender. The GT logo in the Series 2 will have a red background, where in the Series 1 will have a gray background. Fourth is on the dash 2. People say the Series 2 dash will have a more grayish dash rather than an orangish dash. But in my 89, I couldn't tell the difference. They all look the same. So the Series 1 will have a more orangey thing, and Series 2 will be a little bit more gray. But at this point, I see all of them similar. They also say the Series 2 will have a gray instrument cluster. It is gray. My 89, which is Series 1, is also gray. So I didn't really know the difference, but I just read off whatever's online. But I just can't see the difference. And the final telltale notice is on the valve cover. In the Series 1, it will say an RB20 right here. In Series 2, it doesn't say anything. There you go, folks. Those are the major difference between the Series 1 and Series 2. To be honest with you, I don't know what's the big fuss about, because all of these differences doesn't really mean much. All right, so since I bought this car, I never really had a chance to go over this car. And for everybody else, Jason, who asked me a million times how much I paid for this, I paid 6,000 Canadian, which is like 4,700 US for a 92 or 32 GTST car, with everything you need to kind of put it on the road, because it needs a lot of interior parts. if you want to restore it the way I did restore it. But whoever's gonna, I guess, whoever's gonna buy or drive this car, I don't think they may not restore it. They may convert it into a track vehicle or a drift style or something like that, because it's painful to get all these little things that's missing. I did it in mine. I don't know if everybody else will. Having said that, the car is sold. Yeah, a good friend of mine, Richard. I mentioned his name many times in my videos because he has been my go-to guy in terms of getting parts, getting more knowledge about the R32 chassis. Whenever I'm stuck, I call Richard and he helps me out with everything. So when I purchased this, I sent him a picture, and he was deployed with the Canadian military at that time. He messaged me, he said, don't sell the car, wait for me. Okay, sure. I waited for him. I gave him the first dib. We agreed on a price and I made some money. Actually, can you actually believe that? So there are a couple of things I missed talking about last time when I did a video on this car. When Richard came over to give me a run over on the car, he pointed out these things. Blow-off valve, it's a Blitz 90s old school blow-off valve, and a blow-off valve. Why this setup needs two blow-off valve, it baffles everybody. It's ridiculous. So when I went to see the car, I had a stipulation that I told the owner that you need to be able to start it. The car needs to turn over, and which he did. He started the car, it barely ran, it didn't want it to idle, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, I knew that the car will run, just needs a little bit of love. So this is what I did. I came home, I took the spark plugs off, cleaned them, put it back. I sucked the gasoline out because the gasoline was probably 4 or 5 years old, which probably resulted in the idling issue. I put some new gas in, fired it right up. It fired without even trying, which to me, it was a good feeling. And I waited until the temperature rose. I had to add some coolant in the radiator. That was it. It idled fine. And I actually went up and down my driveway to my neighbor's driveway. It drove, stopped fine, went through the gears. Talking about the gears, the clutch was a very interesting clutch. It almost feels like it's a multi-piece clutch. At this point, we don't know what kind of clutch it is. The grab is really strong. It's at the right spot. It's absolutely smooth, because I know I need a clutch in my car. So the grab is a little bit higher, but this one, it is nice, smooth, exactly where you want to be. Amazing, amazing. Next are these mirrors. They're Shrek kind of looking mirrors. I looked at them and I was like, yeah, whatever. They're probably fake. Except they were not. They're authentic Ganador mirrors. On eBay, a set of these goes between $2,000 to $2,500 US dollar. Crazy. Now, Richard, he paid for the car already. I'm just storing it until the season when it's ready to, put together or whatever he wants to do. He sold these mirrors and got $1,500 for it. Again, the guy he sold it to is willing to wait until blah, blah, blah. Go figure. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. You guys remember this having a fancy fiberglass bumper. What happened with that? So another friend of ours who lives in Milton, 15 minutes from my house, he has a R32 Skyline with a RB28 Tomei kit. It is so cool, but the a-hole daily drives it. Okay, you understand? He has an R32 GTR with an RB28 Tomei kit. Lots of mods in it. It makes 590 all-wheel horsepower. Daily drives it in Canada. All right. He hit something and he cracked his bumper, and he needed a bumper. Right now with COVID and all the BS going around, he wasn't going to have a bumper anytime soon, but he needs to drive the car to go to work or whatever he wants to do. My hands are freezing. It's actually pretty cold. I don't know if you guys can see the flurries coming down. Richard called me and he's like, hey, can you take the bumper off? I said, why? And he told me about the guy, and I said, yeah, for him, sure. We took the bumper off. He sold it. We also made a really good deal on it. So got a bunch of parts plus money. Me and Richard, we went there. I should have videotaped that. We installed it. But more interestingly, that car is going to come to the channel soon. That's that. Not everything that I buy with love. Some I just buy to turn around and make some quick money. I saw this, found an opportunity to turn around and make some quick money, and I knew exactly who to call. I saw this and I found an opportunity that I can, if I pick up cheap enough, I can turn around and make some money. And I knew it needed very little work to where I wanted to be able to sell it, because I was certainly not going to restore it. With these cars, it's a very interesting market. As long as it has a clean, rust-free body, which it is, and it has a motor and tranny which runs and drives, which it is, you will get what you ask for, as long as you're not asking something crazy. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you find it interesting, please hit the subscribe button and bell notification. There are a lot more shenanigans coming in this channel with my Skyline, which I'm keeping. Somebody made an offer on it. It's not going to be sold because I didn't accept it. Probably should have. I should have. I'm going to probably do a build on the Xterra. Those are stuff are coming in. Smash that subscribe button.